Oh my God, it was amazing. He's been I guess in the old days you'd call them a patron, someone who's really propelled me forward, as an artist, and both practically and also artistically. So yeah, it was great to work with him again. It was great to be given the opportunity. It was great to know that I already had a shorthand with him, having done Peacemaker, that we could bring into Guardians, and that he trusted me with such an important role. And it was a gift to just hear the direction and the laughter that comes when he's on the God mic, and knowing that he was gonna focus on character and truth despite all the fun, because I think this character needed to be really grounded for it to work, and trusting that I was in the hands of a director that could do that. The big difference between Peacemaker and Guardians was like you had Peacemaker, which is a superhero movie that's sort of like The Office meets superhero movies, and then you had Guardians, which is like one of the biggest, probably the biggest thing I will ever do, scale wise and size wise. So it went from a very domestic sort of, definitely very dialogue driven, bantery, wonderful, subversive superhero movie to a very subversive but gigantic, ginormous, action-packed, hilarious and also tragic story that Guardians is. James and I made the decision, and he'd written it. That's how he wrote it, that this guy is pretty despicable. By the time we meet him, wherever his journey might have started, and the sort of altruistic aims he might have had back then have completely been clouded and muddied by years of this is narcissistic, and now by the time we meet him, borderline sociopathic behavior. So I really wanted to drive it home, the fact that this guy is a villain with a capital V. I wasn't interested in sympathy or empathy, and if there was any that was going to be gotten, it had to be gotten from a very truthful place. That is when the others, that is the audience, people watching it, glean something to understand him with. It wasn't my job to force feed it by being sympathetic or playing it great. I had to play it the way it was written, and the way it was written was, this is a very damaged individual. No, again, it's the imagination. It's you decide if this is a role you want to play, and if you're cool with what it's gonna look like, and then you play it to the hilt. But I would say that if it would have been impossible to be in any way to cause any harm to any animals, which was never going to be the case. But it certainly made it easier that when the animals were put in, they were put in with VFX and stuff like that, so that I didn't have to ever even contemplate holding a cute furry raccoon for real, So I was able to just shut that off and commit to the character, and understand also, you have to sort of understand the holistic nature of storytelling, in the sense that I had to be this bad to justify the Rocket we have now. It was there to tell this story. When we think of Rocket, when we first saw him in the first one and took the shirt off, and you saw the markings of the Rocket in the second one, who screamed, "I didn't ask to be made like this." That tragedy, which is making me very emotional, we had to have a story that justified that, and it would have been a shame to water it down.